Right now, you are watching this video, and perhaps you have never stopped to think, why do 95% of the people around you wake up to the sound of an alarm, consume the most productive 40 years of their lives in an office, a factory, or a workplace, commute the same route every day, return home exhausted every evening, and finally, when they retire, have almost nothing left in their bank accounts? Is this a coincidence? Or is there an invisible mechanism operating within us all? What I'm about to tell you may sound harsh, even ruthless. But listen, because this truth will set you free. The cause of your failure, poverty, and unhappiness is not a lack of talent, but a lack of purpose. Dying poor is not a misfortune. It is the mathematical result of a lack of planning. Going to the grave penniless is not a twist of fate, but the natural product of living unconsciously. And right now, you might be walking that path, but you aren't even aware of it, because like most people, you are drifting. Burn this word into your mind, drifting. Think of a ship, rudderless, sailless, without a route, in the middle of the ocean, going wherever the wind blows. It drifts to wherever the waves push it, and the captain, sitting in the corner of the ship, doesn't even ask, "Where are we going?" This is the life of most people. This could be your life too, but today, right now, this will change. Because throughout this video, I will repeat a truth to you so many times that it will be engraved in your subconscious. Your thought creates your destiny. Your thought builds your reality. And the thoughts you possess right now have brought you to exactly this point. Like it or not, accept it or not, you are the architect of your own life. Rich or poor, happy or unhappy, free or slave, all of these are products of your mind. So, what will you do now? Will you continue with the same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same habits? Or will you make a conscious decision today, right now, and change the course of your life? Making this decision is in your hands. And I demand one thing from you. Watch this video to the end. Take notes, pause, rewind, watch it again. Because the principles you will learn here are the principles used by Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and John D. Rockefeller. These are not abstract, airy ideas. These are laws that operated in the minds of history's richest, most influential, and most successful people. And these laws are valid today. They are valid for you too. Poor, rich, worker, boss, for all of us. Because universal laws favor no one. Just as gravity affects everyone equally, so does the law of thought. If you use it, you become rich. If you don't, you die poor. It's that simple, that ruthless, but that fair. Now I will introduce you to the most powerful, mysterious, least understood, but most potent part of your mind, the subconscious. Most people think the conscious mind controls everything. But the truth is, the power of the conscious mind is a drop of water next to the power of the subconscious. A drop compared to an ocean. Your subconscious works 24 hours a day. Even when you sleep, it is active. Even when you watch TV, it records. Even when you drive, it processes. It never stops. It never rests. It never takes a vacation. And here is its most important feature. The subconscious cannot distinguish between reality and fiction. Whatever you give it, it accepts as truth and acts accordingly. Understand this at once. If you give the message, "I am a poor person, I can never be rich," to your subconscious, it accepts this as truth. And it works to turn what it accepts as truth into reality. You don't see opportunities, you can't take risks, your behaviors become the behaviors of a poor person. And the result? You stay poor. But the opposite is also true. If you give the message, "I am rich, I am successful, I am worthy," to your subconscious, it accepts this as truth too. And it works to turn it into reality. You start seeing opportunities. You dare to take risks. Your behaviors become the behaviors of a rich person. And the result? You become rich. Here, the law of repetition comes into play. Repetition. Because the only way to plant a thought in the subconscious is to transmit it to it repeatedly, constantly, persistently, frequently. Think of it like a seed. What happens if you throw a seed into the soil once and then forget it? Birds eat it. The wind blows it away. It rots. But if you water that same seed every day, give it sun, tend to the soil, what happens? It takes root. A sprout emerges. It grows. It branches out. It bears fruit. And that fruit produces new seeds. Thought is like that too. If you think, I will be rich once, and then say, but this is not possible for me, I am just a simple person, that seed rots. But if you look in the mirror every morning and say loudly, I am rich, I am successful, I am worthy, money comes to me easily, opportunities find me, I am like a magnet and abundance is drawn to me. And if you say this every morning, for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, uninterrupted, without stopping, without making excuses, what happens? Your subconscious accepts this as truth, and it turns what it accepts as truth into reality. Now let me give you the science. Neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to form new neural connections. Every time you think, a neural pathway is formed in your brain. The first time you think it, that path is very weak, like a footpath. But every time you repeat the same thought, that path strengthens. The footpath becomes a dirt road. The dirt road becomes an asphalt road. The asphalt road becomes a highway. And finally, that thought becomes automatic. It requires no effort. It comes spontaneously. This is what character is. This is what identity is. You are the sum of your repeated thoughts, and pre-sleep is the most critical moment of this process, because the resistance power of the conscious mind is at its weakest level before sleep. Throughout the day, the conscious mind stands at the door like a guard. It asks, is this real? Is this logical? Is this suitable for me? And it doesn't let most thoughts in. But before sleep, that guard gets tired. The door is half open, and the messages you give at that moment go directly to the subconscious. Throughout the night, while you sleep, your subconscious works on those messages. They are processed, they deepen, they settle. When you wake up in the morning, they have become stronger. Here is what you will do tonight. Before getting into bed, turn off all electronic devices. Make your room quiet, dark, and calm. Then lie down on the bed, close your eyes, and visualize your definite aim in your mind. See yourself as having achieved that aim. If your aim is to be rich, see yourself rich. Be living in a luxurious house, wear quality clothes, walk with confidence. Feel people treating you with respect. See the numbers in your bank account. Imagine yourself not as you are now, but as you want to be. And don't just see it, feel it. Inhale the emotions, feel the pride, feel the confidence, feel the happiness, feel the peace. Because the subconscious responds not only to thought, but also to emotion. In fact, it responds more strongly to emotion. Thought opens the path, emotion provides the fuel. When the two combine, the impossible becomes possible. Now let me give you a concrete example from history. Thomas Edison. He conducted tens of thousands of experiments to invent the light bulb. He failed thousands of times. But he never said, I failed. Each time he said, I found one more way that doesn't work. In his mind, the concept of failure did not exist. There was only feedback, there was only learning, there was only moving on to the next attempt. And in the end, he illuminated the world. So, was Edison smarter than you? No. Was he luckier? No. Did he have a better education? No, in fact, his formal education was very little. So what was the difference? The difference was mindset. The difference was the messages he gave to his subconscious. Every night before he went to sleep, he told himself, I will achieve this. I will find the solution. It is only a matter of time. And the subconscious obeyed this command. Now we come to a very critical point, a principle that most people do not understand, overlook, but every successful person applies. Success is not a result, it is an identity. Rich people do not act like rich people because they are rich. They become rich because they act like rich people. Understanding this changes everything. Most people think, first let me become rich, then I will be confident. First, let me become successful, then I will be disciplined. First, let me earn money, then I will be generous. No, completely wrong. It is the exact opposite. Be confident first, then you become rich. Be disciplined first, then you become successful. Be generous first, then you earn more. Because identity determines results. Results do not determine identity. You become who you are. You become what you call yourself. This is the acting as if principle. You are not a millionaire yet, but you can think like a millionaire. What does a millionaire do when he wakes up in the morning? He gets up early, exercises, eats a healthy breakfast, plans the day. You do it too. You are not a business owner yet, but you can make decisions like a leader. How does a leader make decisions? Fast, clear, assuming responsibility. You do it too. You are not free yet, but you can act like a free person. How does a free person act? He sets his own rules, doesn't wait for others' approval, lives according to his own values. You do it too. I give you a very concrete instruction. Starting today, act as if you are the person you want to be. And while doing this, pay attention to small details, because character reveals itself in small things. If you want to be a disciplined person, does a disciplined person make their bed today? They do. You make it too. If you want to be a healthy person, what does a healthy person eat today? Vegetables, fruits, protein. You eat that too. If you want to be a successful person, how does a successful person use their time today? Efficiently, planned, focused. You use it that way too. Small things? Yes. Unimportant? Absolutely not. Because small things form big habits. Big habits form character. Character forms destiny. If you make your bed every morning, you exercise your discipline muscle. And as that muscle strengthens, you become disciplined in bigger things too. In your business, in your relationships, in your finances, everywhere. Now let me give you an example from Abraham Lincoln. Years before he became president, Lincoln used to read law books in the town library. He had no money, no legal education, no connections. But he believed he would be president, and he started to acquire the knowledge a president should have. He started to build the character a president should have. Every day, he asked himself this question: what would a president do in this situation today? And he acted that way. Even though he was poor, even though he was powerless, even though he was unknown, he was a president in his mind. And when the time came, the outside world saw this too, because his identity came before his situation. You will do the same. You will start building the identity necessary for the life you want from today. And this happens not just with thoughts, but with actions. Every action is a ballot, a vote in the election of identity. Every day, you perform hundreds of small actions. Every action answers the question, who are you? What do you do when the alarm rings in the morning? If you hit snooze, you vote, I am an undisciplined person. If you get up immediately, you vote, I am a disciplined person. What do you eat for lunch? If you eat fast food, you vote, I am a person who doesn't value my health. If you eat healthy food, you vote, I am a person who values myself. What do you do when you come home in the evening? If you watch TV, you vote, I am a passive person. If you read a book, you vote, I am a learning person. Every day, hundreds of votes, and you become whichever side the majority votes for. Now ask yourself, in the last week, which identity did you vote for more? Disciplined or undisciplined? Active or passive? Growing or stalling? Be honest. And if you didn't like the answer, change the way you vote starting today.
I give you a challenge.
For the next 90 days, do one thing every day that your old self would never do. Wake up early, take a cold shower, read 10 pages of a book, talk to a stranger, learn a skill, watch a video, write an article. Small things, but every day. Because at the end of 90 days, you will no longer be the same person. Even biologically, most of the cells in your body will have renewed, but more importantly, your mind, your identity, your beliefs, your habits will have changed. And then, success ceases to be a goal. It becomes an identity. You don't try to be rich because you are rich. You don't try to be successful because you are successful. And the world starts seeing you that way. Now, I will be very honest with you, and perhaps this will be the most important part of this video. Because the real reason most people fail is not lack of talent, but fear of failure. People don't try because they fear, what if I can't achieve it? They don't take risks because they worry, what if I lose? They stay in their secure jobs because they think, what if my venture goes bust? And the result? They never reach their true potential. They live their lives full of the word, if only. If only I had tried. If only I had taken the risk. If only I had been brave. But it is too late. Here is one of the most important truths I will tell you, perhaps the most important. There is no such thing as failure. There are only temporary defeats, and these defeats are actually hidden gifts because they teach you something. They show you your next step. They help you become stronger, more knowledgeable, more experienced. Think of Henry Ford. He was one of the richest people in the world, but very few people know his first 2 companies went bankrupt. The first 2, total failure. He lost his money. He lost his reputation. He lost everything. But he didn't lose one thing, his faith. He didn't say, I can't be a businessman. He didn't say, I have no success in this business. He didn't feel like a victim. On the contrary, he saw every bankruptcy as a lesson. He said, this method didn't work. I'll try something else. And he founded Ford Motor Company on the 3rd attempt, and he changed the world. He made the automobile accessible to the common man. He created an industry. He gave jobs to millions of people. And history recognizes him not for his 2 bankruptcies, but for his success. Because he didn't accept temporary defeats as permanent. Now another example for you. Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. Do you know at what age he became successful? 65. At 65 years old. At the age most people retire, he was just getting started. And do you know how many times he was rejected? 1,009 times. 1,009 restaurants rejected his recipe. They said, this won't work, nobody will eat this chicken. But he went to the 1,010th restaurant, and the 1,010th restaurant said, yes.
And today, KFC is everywhere in the world. So, what was Colonel Sanders feeling after the 1008th rejection? Was he tired? Of course. Was he disappointed? Probably. But did he quit? Never. Because he saw every no as getting closer to a yes. Every closing was a road leading to an opening. And you must think the same way. Starting today, delete the word failure from your mind. Delete it completely. What should you put in its place? Put feedback. Put learning opportunity. Put temporary result. Because the words you use determine the emotions you feel. And the emotions you feel determine the steps you take. If you say, "I failed," you feel bad. If you feel bad, your motivation drops. If your motivation drops, you give up. But if you say, "This method didn't work, I'll try another way," you feel powerful. If you feel powerful, your motivation increases. If your motivation increases, you continue. And the one who continues wins. Always.
Now, I ask you a very concrete question and write the answer on paper. If you knew for certain that you would not fail, what would you do? Which business would you start? Which career change would you make? Which investment would you make? Which relationship would you start? Which hobby would you begin? Write it. Write it now. Pause the video and write, because that answer is the answer of your true desire. That answer is the answer of your heart's voice. And now let me tell you one more truth. You cannot fail anyway. It's impossible, because the only real failure is dying without ever trying. Trying and learning is already part of success. Is Thomas Edison failing 1,000 times a greater failure, or a person never trying at all? Of course, the second one, because Edison learned, he grew, he developed. But those who don't try can never grow. And I give you an order. Today, do something where you have a possibility of failure. Make a job offer. Share an idea. Start a small venture. Approach a person. Ask for something, even if it's small. Because action kills fear. Thinking feeds fear. The more you think, the bigger the fear grows. You think, what if it doesn't happen? What if I can't succeed? What if I get rejected? What if I get embarrassed? And fear grows like a giant. But if you take a step, if you take an action, fear shrinks. It shrinks even more at the second step. At the third step, it almost vanishes. This is what courage is. Acting together with fear. Courage is not being fearless. Fear is there, but you do it anyway. This is true power. Now I will tell you a very critical truth, and I want you to internalize this deeply. You are the sole, unique, absolute authority of your own life. No one else can decide for you. No one else can realize your dream. No one else can use your potential. No one else can take your responsibility. You, and only you, are the writer of your own destiny, the captain of your own ship, the CEO of your own company. So what have you done until now? Have you used this authority? Or did you give it to others? Did you live according to your family's expectations? They said, be a doctor, be an engineer, be a civil servant, and you became one. But there was something else in your heart. Did you decide according to society's judgments? They said, you need to be married at this age, you need to have a child at this age, it is normal to receive this much salary, and you accepted it as such. Did your friends' opinions shape your life? They said, "You can't do this. This is too risky. Who knows what will happen?" And you gave up trying. If so, I am sorry, but I have to give you bad news. You are not the master of your own life. You are its slave. The slave of others' expectations, the slave of society's norms, the slave of fear. But this slavery ends today, right now, this second. Because now I command you something. This is not a suggestion, not a proposal, not advice. This is a command. And I am giving this command not to you, but actually to myself. But you will hear it too, and you will apply it too. Take back control of your life. Start making your own decisions. Listen to others' ideas, but you make the final decision. Learn from their experiences, but you draw your own path. Meet their fears with understanding, but act with your own courage. I demand from you, starting today, to take responsibility for your own life. Understand this: if you are poor, don't say, "The economy is bad, the government is bad, the boss is bad." Ask, "What can I do?" If you are unhappy, don't blame my spouse, my job, my city. Ask, "What can I change?" If you are unsuccessful, don't say, "I have no luck, no opportunity, no time." Ask, "What can I learn?" Because as long as you live like a victim, you remain a slave. But the moment you take responsibility, you become free. And how will you do this? Every morning, you will look in the mirror. You will look into your eyes, and you will say this to yourself out loud. I am the master of my life. I am the architect of my destiny. I make my own decisions. I draw my own path. I do not live according to anyone else's expectations. I follow my own vision. I act not with fear, but with courage. I am not a victim. I am a hero. I am not a complainer. I am a creator. I am not dependent. I am free. I am not weak. I am strong. Say this out loud. Feel this, because every time you repeat this, your subconscious records it. And if you repeat it enough, this becomes your new identity. Before founding the American steel empire, Andrew Carnegie used to say this to himself every day. I will be the richest man in the world. And I will use this wealth not just for myself, but for the good, education, and development of humanity. This was not a dream, this was not a wish, this was a command. A precise, clear, unchangeable command he gave to himself. And the subconscious obeyed this command. Your subconscious will obey too, but you must give it clear, precise, repeated commands. Now I give you a concrete instruction. This week, say a no in your life. And let this be a very important no. Say no to a meeting that doesn't add value to you. Say no to a relationship that drains your energy. Say no to a habit that distances you from your goals. Say no to an activity that steals your time. Because every no actually means saying yes to something more important. When you say no to your time wasters, you say yes to your goals. When you say no to a toxic relationship, you say yes to your own peace. When you say no to a bad habit, you say yes to your health. And you have the right to determine priorities in your own life. Not just the right, you have the responsibility.
Now we will go on a journey with you. We will go back in time, and we will look into the minds of history's most successful people. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, Abraham Lincoln, John D. Rockefeller, Napoleon Hill. Did these people know something you don't? Of course not. The knowledge was the same. Did they have something you don't? No. The human brain is the same. So what was the difference? The difference was mindset. The difference was that they understood the power of thought. The difference was that they used this power with discipline. Let's look at Thomas Edison. He tried the light bulb 10,000 times. 10,000 times! Most people give up if they try 10 times and fail. If they try 100 times and fail, they say, "This is not my job." But Edison tried 10,000 times, and each time he didn't say, "I failed." He never used that word. He said, "I found 10,000 ways that won't work." The framework in his mind was completely different. He didn't see failure, he only saw learning. He only saw the next attempt. He only saw the success that would eventually come. And finally, he illuminated the world. Billions of people benefited from his invention. Let's look at Henry Ford. He wanted to invent the assembly line. All his engineers said, "This is impossible, cannot be done, contrary to physics." But do you know what Ford told them? "You will do this. You will work until you find the solution. I don't know how it will be done, but I don't need to know. Your job is to find it." And they found it. Because Ford did not harbor the concept of impossible in his mind. He only believed there were solutions yet to be found. Let's look at Andrew Carnegie. He was a poor Scottish immigrant. When he came to America, he had nothing. No money, no education, no connections. But he had one thing, a dream. And every day he fed that dream. Every day he thought like a rich man. Every day he decided like a rich man. Every day he told himself, "I will be rich. This is certain." And his identity came before his situation. Eventually, he founded the American Steel Empire. He became one of the richest people in the world. And then what did he do? He gave all his money to education, libraries, universities. Because his vision was not just to be rich, it was to contribute to humanity. Let's look at Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming president, he lost the election 8 times. 8 times! His business went bust twice. He had a nervous breakdown once. His life, objectively, was a series of failures. But he never defined himself as a failure. Every loss taught him something. Every defeat made him stronger. Every difficulty built his character. And finally, in America's most difficult period, he became one of its greatest presidents. He abolished slavery. He united a nation. He wrote his name in history with golden letters. Let's look at John D. Rockefeller. He founded Standard Oil. He became the world's first billionaire. But his beginning was very humble. He was a small accountant, but he had a principle: to save 10% of everything he earned. No matter how small his salary was, he saved 10%. Then he invested. Then he saved more. Then he invested more. And this discipline made him a billionaire. Let's look at Napoleon Hill, author of the book Think and Grow Rich. For 20 years, he interviewed 500 successful people. Carnegie, Ford, Edison. He studied them all. And he found a formula, the formula of success. And that formula was this: definite purpose, plan, belief, repetition, action. That's it. 5 steps. But most people do not apply these 5 steps. Because it is not easy. Because it requires discipline. Because it requires repetition. Because it requires patience. But you are not most people, are you? Now I ask you, which principle are you using? Edison's? Or the one of those who say, "I tried once, it didn't happen"? Ford's? Or the one of those who say, "This is impossible"? Carnegie's? Or the one of those who say, "I am just an ordinary person"? Lincoln's? Or the one of those who say, "If I lose once, I quit"? Let me tell you a truth. These people are not in a place you cannot reach. They do not live on another planet. They have no superpowers. They just applied universal laws that you can apply too. And these laws are open to everyone. It requires no intelligence, no luck, no connections. It only requires 3 things: discipline, repetition, and belief.
And all three of these are in your control, completely in your control. Now we move from theory to practice, because knowledge is useless without action. You can learn everything in this video, but if you don't apply it, nothing changes. Now I give you a very concrete, very clear step-by-step plan. You will start this plan today and apply it for 90 days. First 30 days, foundation building. Second 30 days, deepening. Third 30 days, embedding. Are you ready? We start. Step 1. Write down your definite aim. Write it now. Pause the video and write. Take a paper, take a pen, and write this. I will achieve a net worth of dollars by the date of, and I will accomplish this by doing, fill in the blanks. Don't be vague. Don't say, I want to be rich. Say, I will achieve a net worth of $1 million by the end of January 2027, and I will accomplish this by selling online education. Be concrete, be measurable, have a definite date. Step 2. Why do you want it? Just saying, I want to be rich is not enough. Why? To provide a good life for my family, to be free, to travel the world, to do charity work. Write down your reasons. Because when difficulty comes, and it will come, these reasons are what keep you standing. Step 3. Every morning ritual. When the alarm rings in the morning, wake up early, ideally before the sun rises. Why? Because the early hours of the morning are when the mind is clearest. Get up, wash your face, drink a glass of water, then go to the mirror, look into your eyes, and read your definite aim aloud, loudly. Sentence by sentence, slowly, feeling every word. Then close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine your aim has been realized. For 5 minutes. See yourself at that point. Feel it, hear it, live it. This is not a daydream, it is a mental rehearsal. Step 4. Daily action. Every day, take a concrete step toward your aim, even if it's small. Make a phone call, write an email, read a page of a book, watch a video, practice a skill, but do something every day. Because small steps create big results. Step 5. Evening ritual. Before going to bed, turn off all electronics. Make your room dark and quiet. Lie down on the bed, close your eyes, take deep breaths. Then read your definite aim again, in your mind. Then, imagine again that your aim has been realized. And be grateful. Be grateful even for what hasn't come yet. Say, thank you for this opportunity given to me, because gratitude attracts abundance. Step 6. Weekly review. Every weekend, ask yourself these questions. Did I get closer to my aim this week? What did I learn? What do I need to change? What will I do next week? Write. Write on paper, because writing clarifies thought. Step 7. Rename failures. During these 90 days, things will go wrong. Plans won't work out. People will say no. Difficulties will arise. And what will you do? You won't say, I failed. Never. You will say, this method didn't work. I'm moving to the next attempt. You will see every obstacle as feedback. You will see every no as getting closer to a yes. Step 8. Change your environment. For 90 days, pay attention to who you listen to. Pay attention to who you watch. Pay attention to what you read, because your environment shapes your mind. If you constantly hang out with negative people, you become negative. If you constantly hang out with unsuccessful people, you become unsuccessful. But if you hang out with successful, positive, growing people, you become like that too. Read books, success books, biographies, at least 10 pages every day. Listen to podcasts, stories of successful people, at least 20 minutes every day. Watch videos, educational, developmental videos, at least 30 minutes every day, because your mind becomes what you feed it. Step 9. Physical discipline. Mind and body are connected. If you cannot master your body, you cannot master your mind.
For 90 days, exercise every day. You don't have to go to a gym. Do push-ups at home, do sit-ups, do squats. 20 minutes is enough, but do it every day. Also, pay attention to what you eat. Eat healthy, drink plenty of water, stay away from sugar, stay away from fast food. Because your body is your temple and you must treat it as such. Step 10, 30-day review. At the end of 30 days, stop, take a break, and evaluate. Have your thoughts changed? Are you more positive? Has your energy increased? Are you more disciplined? Have you started seeing opportunities? Do you trust yourself more? If the answer is yes, congratulations, you are changing.
Continue for another 30 days. Second 30 days. Now you will go deeper. You laid the foundation in the first 30 days. Now the building will rise. You will continue the same rituals, but you will add one thing. Visualization notebook. Every day, you not only read your aim, you also draw it. You make pictures, you make a collage, because visuals have a stronger effect on the mind. Third 30 days, embedding. Now these habits become automatic. They no longer require effort. Waking up in the morning is easy. Doing rituals is natural. Taking action is normal. Because you have changed. Your identity has changed. You are no longer someone trying to be rich. You are someone with a rich identity. And at the end of 90 days, watch this video again. Because then you will no longer be the same person. And then you will see other layers of the video. Now I will do one last exercise with you. A very powerful exercise. Maybe uncomfortable, but necessary. Because sometimes, to truly change, we need to confront ourselves with the end. Are you ready? Close your eyes. Imagine. You are 85 years old. You are on the last day of your life. You are lying in a hospital bed. You see your family around you. The doctor came and said, "A few hours left." And now you look back. You review your whole life. And you ask this question, what did I do with my life? Did I use my potential? Did I truly live, or did I just exist? Was I brave? Did I take risks? Did I chase my dreams? Or did I live in fear? Did I choose to stay safe? Did I live according to others' expectations? And now, on my deathbed, am I regretful? Really ask yourself this question. Be honest. If you were to die today, would you be regretful? Are there things you didn't do, words you didn't say, businesses you didn't build, experiences you didn't live, people you didn't love, places you didn't go? If there are, write them down. Write them now, because this list is the list of your true desires. This list is the roadmap of the life that needs to be lived. And here is the real question. When will you start? Tomorrow? Next week? Next year? After you retire? When I have time? No, because tomorrow is not a guarantee. Next week is not a promise. Next year is not a vow. The only guarantee is now, this second, and how are you using the now? Now let me give you statistics. The average human lives 75 years. 75 years sounds long. But calculate, 25 years are spent sleeping, 50 left. 15 years are spent working, 35 left. 10 years are spent on television, social media, meaningless things, 25 left. 5 years eating, washing, commuting, traffic, 20 left. And in the remaining 20 years, what do you really do? How much of it is really your life? How much of it is really living? For most people, the answer is very little. Because most people don't live, they just exist. They move to the next day, they wait for the weekend. They wait for the holiday.
They wait for retirement. They wait for death. But real living is not waiting. Real living is being now, being in action now, experiencing now, growing now, loving now, creating now. And here is the tragedy. Most people work until they are 65 and die penniless. But the real tragedy is not money. The real tragedy is dying without ever trying. Dying without using the potential inside. Dying living a safe but unhappy life. Dying living others' dreams. Dying having buried your own dreams. This is the real tragedy. And I demand something from you. No, I beg you. Don't die like this. Don't end your life this way. Whatever your 85-year-old self would do if they could return to your current self today, do that. That courage, that risk, that step. Take it today, because tomorrow may not come. But today is in your hands. Now it is in your hands. And however you use today, you build your tomorrow that way. Every day, thousands of small decisions. And these decisions form your destiny.
Now let's talk about money with you. Because the title of this video is, Why do most people work until 65 and die penniless? And I haven't fully given the answer yet. Now I give it. Most people die penniless because they have wrong beliefs about money. They live with a poverty mindset. Now I will show you the difference between the two mindsets. The poverty mindset says, money is bad. The rich are greedy. I only work to get by. Money doesn't bring happiness. The wealth mindset says, money is a tool. Wealth is freedom. I work to create value. Money creates good in the right hands. The poverty mindset says, I can't afford it. Everything is too expensive. I can't pay for this. The wealth mindset says, how can I afford this? How can I create more value? How can I earn more? The poverty mindset says, the rich are lucky. I can't be like them. This isn't for me. The wealth mindset says, if they can do it, I can do it too. What principles did they use? I can apply the same. See the difference? One thinks like a victim, the other like a creator. One sees limits, the other opportunities. One complains, the other produces solutions. And here is the result. One stays poor, the other becomes rich. Now I will teach you the laws of money. First law. Money is the equivalent of value. The more value you create, the more money you earn. Do you work hourly? Then your income is limited. But if you create value, your income is unlimited. A developer writes a code. That code is written once, but sold 1,000 times. An author writes a book. That book is written once, but sold 1,000,000 times. An entrepreneur builds a system. That system works on its own and produces money. That's the difference. Second law. Money multiplies. If you save and invest, money makes interest. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. But most people don't use it. They spend as they earn. They don't save. They don't invest. And when they retire, nothing is left. Third law. Money is energy flow. If you are generous, it comes back to you. If you are stingy, it gets blocked. Generosity attracts abundance. Fear and greed attract scarcity. Fourth law. Money is mental. You must be rich in your mind first, then in your pocket. If you are poor in your mind, no matter how much you earn, you lose it. If you are rich in your mind, even if you have little, you multiply it. Now I give you a concrete exercise. Today, take out the money in your wallet. However much there is, even if it's $5, take it in your hand, feel it, and be grateful. Say, thank you for this money, and more is coming. Then treat someone to something, a small thing, a coffee, a flower, a bagel, it doesn't matter. But give, be generous. Because generosity is the sign of abundance. And the universe responds to abundance with abundance.
Now we have come to the end of the video. And this end will actually be a beginning for you. Because knowledge is nothing without action. You learned a lot in this video. But now, the real question. What will you do? Will you close the video and continue with your life? With the same habits, same thoughts, same results? Or will you make a conscious decision today, right now? The decision to change your life. Let me tell you something. Change is not sudden. Change is gradual. But the beginning is sudden. One moment, one decision, one step. And that moment can be now. Now, I command you one last thing. Close the video. Take a paper, take a pen, and write your definite aim. Write it now. Then go to the mirror. Look at yourself. Look into your eyes and say this. I am changing. I am growing. I am succeeding. I am no longer the old me. Then, today, do one thing that your old self would never do. A small thing, but a different thing. Because every great journey begins with a single step. And your journey can begin today. It can begin now. It can begin this second. I can tell you. I can show the way. I can give the principles. But walking is your job. Moving is your responsibility. Changing is your decision. And I know you can do it. Because if you couldn't, you wouldn't have watched this video up to here. It means there is a fire inside you. It means there is a hunger inside you. It means you were created for more. Now, feed that fire, satisfy that hunger, use that potential. 90 days. Give me just 90 days. And I promise you, at the end of 90 days, you will be another person. Stronger, more disciplined, more confident, more successful. Because you will apply these principles. And principles do not lie. Principles work equally for everyone. It doesn't say rich or poor. It doesn't say young or old. It doesn't say educated or uneducated. If you apply, you get results. If you don't, you don't. It's that simple, that clear. Now go, apply, create, succeed. And 1 year later, you will thank me. You will thank yourself. Because the decision you took today changed your life. Most people work until 65 and die penniless because they never take control of their own lives. But you are not most people. You watch this video, it means you are different. Now, show that difference. Show the world, show yourself, and reach success. Because you are worthy of it. Now go and create.